Hi everybody. Ben Rowsome from Ability Co-op here. With me today, I have Claire Mc Namara, who is kind enough to be offered to be interviewed this afternoon. So, Claire, first and foremost, thank you for being here. It's great to have you
Thank
with
you for
us.
having me.
Would you care to introduce yourself, please?
Sure, okay. Well, my name is Claire. I'm also part of the Ability Co-op, and I am a third year computer science student with ASD. And yeah, I'm just delighted to be here.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, I understand you were previously or have been a Laidlaw scholar. Could you tell us a bit about your experience in some of the scholarships you've been in?
Yeah, so that was partly the reason why I came on here. Not many people know that I'm even registered with the disability service, that I have ASD or anything related to that. I kind of, it is ASD is kind of a disability that it is somewhat hidden. It's you can choose really to tell people, or people may figure out. But yeah, so I applied for a number of scholarships, and luckily I was successful in some of them. So that's why I also wanted to come on here and just explain that, hey, everyone can do it. If I've done it, so can you. So Laidlaw is a research and leadership scholarship, and I got involved in research at the start of second year. So when I saw Laidlaw come up, I was like, great, yeah, that sounds right up my alley. I'm already doing research. I chatted to my supervisors. They actually forwarded on the email that we all got about the Laidlaw scholarship to me, and I was like, you really should go for this. And I was like, yeah, I should, shouldn't I? it seems perfect fit. Yeah, so I just applied for that, and obviously there's a lot of work involved in applying for it, but luckily I'd already started my research project, and I kind of knew my research area, so it wasn't perhaps as much work, and I didn't have to source supervisors or anything either, which was also really lucky because I already knew the two people. So yeah, that's Laidlaw. And then also in second year I applied for, Google has a Google scholarship for people with disabilities, and there's 10 people in Europe and Israel who get picked every year to receive, and it's a monetary scholarship for that academic year to go towards your studies. And yeah, that was I can honestly say I didn't expect in a million years to be one of those 10 people. It's there's Europe is big, as is Israel. Like, it is a big place.
Sure.
So um, yeah,
Yeah,
that opt.
that's fantastic, Claire. How would you come across these scholarships to begin with? Was it through the college itself, or had you heard from friends or a pamphlet, or how did you come about it to begin with?
Yeah, well, Laidlaw was just a college-wide email, I think,
Right.
sent to all students and
Mm-hmm.
faculty members, I believe, because, well, I got it and cited my supervisors. But and then the Google scholarship, I just was researching. I looked up. I was like, hey, what kind of scholarships are offered by various companies? And I came across this one, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. I will give it a go. Didn't expect anything from it. It was more just, it's good practice as well. You have to write essays and stuff, and
Sure. Okay.
it,
Yeah.
makes you reflect on what you've done and all of that.
Very good. Very good. And tell me, how did you find your experience during these scholarships? What was it like?
Yeah, well, Laylaw is ongoing. So that's for 2 years, and you do research over both summers, and you do also workshops and in between. And we went away actually to a leadership weekend, and it's that's been incredible, absolutely incredible. The people I've met through it are from all over the college. So normally, particularly in computer science, because it's so big, you tend to only socialize with computer science people
Yeah.
because there's more than enough people to socialize within that alone.
Sure.
Whereas in Laidlaw, people, I mean, I'm the only computer science one in my cohort, so they're all from literally, people doing English and like history and like maths and music and pharmacy and medicine and literally everyone. So that has been absolutely fantastic to meet people, not just from my little group.
Yeah. Yeah. That does sound incredible. In fairness, brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, did you find, or have you found that you faced any challenges during your time in those scholarships? And if so, how have you tried to overcome those challenges?
Well, luckily with Google, it was that Google scholarship. You just basically apply, and if you're successful, you get an email saying, "Hey, you were successful. and then they provide you with the scholarship funding and everything. So that was kind of a one-time thing. It wasn't like an ongoing thing, which meant that there wasn't too many, obviously the challenge of applying, but once you'd gotten through that, it was finished. Laidlaw is far more of an ongoing thing, and I think, yeah, I guess the main thing is particularly like the workshops that maybe go over like 2 days, or the leadership weekend even. I get tired super easy being around people, and even just the organization to get myself there takes a lot. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, it's just trying to manage. A lot of it is like time management, and also managing how much energy I have, because I have gotten to the place quite a number of times where I've expended way too much energy trying to socialize with people and
Yeah.
everything. And while
Yeah.
that's great and necessary, it means that I then stay in bed for a week because I am so exhausted I can't even speak. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a balance.
Yeah, yeah. Being on the autism spectrum myself, I suffer from a lot of anxiety, so it's curious to hear it from that perspective, Claire. That's great. What do you feel you've taken away from your experience within the scholarships? Like, what new skills have you learned, or do you think you've just grown as a person in general, or how would you interpret it?
Oh, definitely. I think my attitude is going into college firstly was just make the most of every single opportunity that comes your way, because I had a really rough time in secondary school, and I don't think I did as well as I could have. It was rough. So I was like, listen, fresh start, we can do this. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to make the most of everything. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I can, of course, yeah. So, what do you feel you took away from the experience?
Ah,
Like,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, the takeaway from the experience. Well, Layla, like I said, had so many workshops, met so many people, and it gave me such a new perspective on, I wasn't just focusing on my own research in computer science. I was also introduced to research from across the board, from like everything, from like something to brains or something to like climate change and music, and it was so great to kind of get a new perspective. Also meeting new people, for sure. It's not something that I find easy, but I've always found it worthwhile, following an experience like that. And I think it's made me a lot more confident, because getting something like this was it's a good achievement to have. It's like, hey, yeah, you're doing good. You know what I mean? Like you did it.
Fantastic.
And I've so obviously it's hard to say that a lot, but it's a cool thing to have. It's given me confidence.
Yeah, very good, very good. That sounds fantastic, Claire. Brilliant, brilliant. Tell me, Claire, looking back now, do you feel there's anything you would have done differently having applied for the scholarships and having gotten a bit of experience in the scholarships?
Oh, that's a good question. What would I have done differently? Well, with the Google scholarship, I'm pretty sure I got an email on like 2 or 3 occasions, like one of those automated emails, like, "Are you going to finish your application?" Basically, and
Yeah,
it kind of got up to like pretty close to the deadline, where I was like, "Oh, I really need to sit down and finish this before I miss the deadline," essentially, and kind of even getting the organization, you have to get references from lecturers to say that you're a good student generally. So even trying to organize that and everything, and I think regarding that application anyway, I could have time managed a bit better,
okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then Laidlaw, um, I don't know. I mean, I could have. I think one thing I did good at least was I went in with a very open mind. I tried to just put behind any like preconceived notions I had of what the experience was going to be like.
Sure.
So I don't think I would do anything differently with Layla. I think I've learned a lot through it, and I think, like I said, it was from going in with an open mind.
Okay. Very good. That's good to hear, Claire. Thank you. Tell me, would you have any advice or words of encouragement for students with a disability or otherwise who would be looking to apply for such scholarships?
Yeah, well, the easy one is like just do it. Just apply.
Yeah,
It's you're like the worst thing that will happen is you won't get anywhere. And it's like nobody has to know. You don't have to tell anybody. Like I didn't really tell anybody that I was applying for anything, because just it can be kind of a scary thing, because then maybe you think that people have an expectation of you then, that you think you're so great, don't you, applying for these scholarships, whatever.
Yeah.
I just think just do it, and I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody about Laidlaw, about the Google Scholarship with Disabilities, but also I've got an internship as well currently with Google, and I'd be really happy if anybody wanted to, was scared about applying or the process of something. I'd be very happy to talk to them about that.
Fantastic. Claire, you've been wonderful. That was great. Thank you very much for that insight. The Ability Co-op now will take a lot away from this, and students throughout Trinity College, I think, will take a lot away from this as well. Again, looking to apply for such scholarships, and sometimes I don't know if you feel the same way. Maybe it's just about finding the confidence to sort of go and apply for these things, because sometimes it's not easy. Certainly for myself, when I started in college, I'm going into my second year now, but the start of first year, I mean, was quite rough for me. I'd had a bit of a rough summer, but I think, again, that just sort of finding your feet and stuff as well. I get this right, you're going into fourth year, is that correct?
Yes, I am going into fourth year.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe down the line the dynamics of college change, but I think hearing it from that perspective, I think it's important for students to hear, and it's wonderful. And of course, you're involved in Ability Co-op. Just as a last sort of a question before we wrap up here, Claire, how have you found? I don't know, you haven't been a part of Ability Co-op for too long, but how have you found the experience so far? Or what projects you'd be looking to get involved in, or any of that stuff?
Yeah. Well, firstly, it's been absolutely amazing. It's something. I've only kind of now gotten the confidence to kind of come out and be like, okay, yeah, I'm registered with Disability Service. It's not a bad thing at all. It's like, it's a great thing, in fact. And I think it's trying to break through that like stigma that like, oh, you have a disability, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's trying to break through that, because like I said, not many people know about that I am a disability, and I kind of kept it purposely that way. I don't want to be known as the girl with the disability who does XYZ. I want to be known as the girl who just did some scholarships, or like did some projects or whatever. So it's been fantastic kind of being able to come out. It is a great platform. I think the community is great. I think all of the people are great. You're great. And I'm really looking forward to getting part of the sports thing, the support, the
very
sports
good. Yeah, the
inclusivity.
sports and inclusion. Yeah, very good.
That is, the gym has always been a place that scared me, and I would really like for it not to, and for there to be a way that we can kind of just make a really inclusive atmosphere for everybody. So that's something I'm really looking forward to getting involved in, and yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Brilliant insight, Claire. Thank you very much. We're going to wrap up the interview there. So thank you again, Claire. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be perhaps back soon with another interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.